Thanks for joining me. This is Angie at ChicnScratch. This is the project we're making today, and this is week 4 of the 12 weeks of Halloween. It opens up just like that. Okay, so the following video was filmed live, so feel free to fast forward, pause, or rewind, and don't forget to head over to my blog and print the template for this box. I believe it's box 38. Okay, I hope you enjoy the video. Good evening. Thank you for joining me. We are making week 4 of the 12 weeks of Halloween, and here are the supplies. They look pretty simple, but I promise the project we're making is so cute. I love it. So basic black, it's 10 1/4 by 3 1/2, and then another piece that measures 5 3/16 by 2 1/2. We have some whisper white for stamping, and then some silver foil. And I'm covering that up because usually the lights reflect in it. And it looks like we're not making much of anything with this little supplies, but we are. Okay, we're going to take our whisper white and we're going to stamp. I'm using Memento ink, and we have 3 images we're stamping. Because we have photopolymer here, I'm going to use my Stampin' mat, and I'll stamp that one first, and then we can take that out of the camera view. Whoops. You want to make sure this little spider gets inked up well. I have to tell y'all, hopefully that's inked well. It doesn't look like it, does it? It is. When I looked at the dies, I thought it was a bat. And I'm like, whoa, they didn't give me a spider. They gave me a bat. So look, it looks like a bat, doesn't it? That's the spider die. Okay, now let's stamp the rest of our images. Stephanie, I just saw your comment about the, that's the first thing that came to my mind. And now the boo. Okay, so we are using 2 sets of Stampin' Blends, the Highland Heather and the Smoky Slate, okay? Now, let's start over. Dark Smoky Slate is only for the owl, well, dark and light. I think I messed up again, but we're gonna live with it. Okay, now let's go with the dark Highland Heather. I'm just coloring along the edges of the cape, just like if we were using crayons. And then I'm gonna get the light. I'm going to put another coat on that in just a minute, but I'm first going to let it dry. So now I'm going to switch over to the light Smoky Slate and finish coloring him. And I'm avoiding the tree branch because we're not using that. Uh-oh. Hold on. Remember when I told you I thought I messed up? That's where I messed up. Sometimes I get a little confused about where one part of something ends and where another begins. Don't y'all? I can tell it's almost time for a new Smoky Slate thin or light marker. Okay, doesn't he look cute? I'm going to take the light Highland Heather again And I'm just gonna give it another, okay, there he is. Not coloring the moon or the tree because we're not using them. So now we're gonna take this die and cut out the silver foil. We're gonna cut out the spider with the spider die. We're gonna cut out the greeting with this one and the owl with this one, okay? I'm gonna move this over and get the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So we need a plate number 1 and a plate number 2, a number 3, and then I'm going to get some of my purple tape here so that this one doesn't shift. That one should be okay. Denise is asking if I like the new die cut machine. I do. I love it. Okay, so here's this one. Yes, I absolutely love it. And it kind of matches my room a whole lot better than that black one. Okay, so here he is. I don't want to lose my die. Let's put that over there. Now we have the greeting and the spider. And I'm going to use my purple tape again to hold this one in place. Yeah, so we'll be able, as demonstrators, we'll be able to order the, okay, which way do I want to do this? Okay, this way. I'm talking to myself. And I'm going to take some more purple tape just to be on the safe side. Okay. Someone asked if my scissors are straight or bent. I have 2 pair. They're both curved. Mama and baby. Okay. There's our boo. And here is my spider, which I got a little bit crooked, but that's okay. I have an extra one over here. We'll pick it up. I knew I was going to let it slide. Okay. So let's get all of our pieces here. Now, we're going to take a 1.5 inch circle punch, and we need a circle. So we're going to pop him up on this circle with a black Stampin' Dimensional. And we're going to add this to the silver. Isn't that cute? Okay. Now, we'll set all of these elements over here, and we're going to take our 10 1/4 by 3.5 piece, and we're actually going to be using the Stampin' Trimmer to score instead of the Simply Scored scoring tool. We're going to place it on the portrait side, and we're going to score it at 1 inch. And I need to get my black blade or dark gray blade out of the way because I want to use my light one. So there's 1 inch. And then I'm going to open up the arm and then place it on the landscape side, which is the 10 1/4 side, and you're going to score it at 1 inch. And then 4 5/8. So 4 5/8 is, so here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's the big mark after the 4 1/2, and then 5 5/8. I'm going to refilm my series of my Stampin' Basics series in my new studio, and then 9 1/4. Because we have all new tools now. We have a new trimmer, we have a new die cut and embossing machine. Okay, we can get that out of the way. I'm going to fold on the score lines and burnish with my bone folder. Stephanie, I was talking to you. Stephanie, my downline. I think you said something about me saying that David was out there doing like a staying alive move. He's such a nut. Okay, so I folded and burnished with my bone folder. Now we're going to take this awesome Cobwebs embossing folder. Now this is the 3D one because it's super thick. You can't bend it. You could, but it's a little more difficult. So what we're going to do is we're going to run it through the die cut machine 2 times to get the entire thing embossed, and we're going to line it up with the score lines, so it's going to work perfect. I say that, but nothing's perfect right now, but we're going to try. Okay, there's my sandwich, or there it is. Now we're going to get the machine back, and this time we need plate 1 or number 1 and a number 4. So here's a number 4. Don't ask me how long it took me to find number 4 today. I was thinking it was white and I couldn't find it. It turns out number 4 is gray. I was about to give up. That's how long it took me. And it was right in front of my face. I just wasn't looking for gray. I was looking for white. Okay, so now we're going to reposition it in here and get the other side. So I think that looks, whoops, I shifted. I got to do this with it facing me. There we go. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to get a little messy. I'm going to take the white, what is this? Forest White Shimmer Paint. Shake it up. And I'm going to open it up and get just a little ink on there. See? Not too much. And then I'm just going to start brushing it across. I'm going to get a little more. Now you can combine this with some alcohol and add it to a spray bottle and spray this on, but I want it a little thicker for this box since it's Halloween. If you were making a Christmas project, maybe you would have it a little lighter. Okay. I got a little heavy there in the middle, but it'll be okay. It's going to be covered up in the middle if that turns out to be our middle part. Okay, now we want to refold on those score lines, which might be a little challenging because they're a little bit hard to see. Okay, now, so this is going to be box template, I think 38, is that right? So you will have a template. Now we're gonna cut, 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 and cut. Now, we're gonna set this aside because now we have the lid to do. And this time we're gonna be scoring this at 3/4 on all 4 sides. So we can use our Simply Scored scoring tool. So 3/4. I love boxes that have lids. They're a little bit more challenging than some, but okay, so before I emboss it, I do want to fold on the score lines and burnish it because sometimes, like I said, finding those score lines afterwards is a little challenging. So we're going to place this inside here. And sandwich it, a 1 and a 4. And then run it through. I love the cobweb folder. It's beautiful. And we're going to take that shimmer paint again. Okay, close this up. Now refold on the score lines. And we are going to cut. And this is where it becomes really challenging, when you have to cut where you're not sure there's a line. For the lid, I'm actually going to use liquid glue, and the reason is because if you don't want your sides to show, well, actually, let me rewind for just a second. Trim your tabs just a teeny tiny bit, just in case you're off by a 1/16 of an inch or a sliver when you cut your paper. Sometimes that's all it is that you just cut it, you were just off just by a hair. You know what I mean? Okay. I don't want too much, but enough to hold it. So I'm going to fold this in and hold that for a second. And this side. The top piece measures 5 3/16 by 2.5. That's why we were using 16ths on this project, so that's why we used the paper trimmer this time. Okay, I'm going to hold that one for a second. Okay, here's our lid for our box. Now, I've got one place I want to angle cut and remove. So now we're back to the box. So I'm removing that section there, okay? And then I'm just going to slightly angle that. Okay, that's how it looks. I'm going to take my tear and tape, and the reason is because I've put shimmer paint on this, and I'm not real sure how it will respond to my other adhesive. So yeah, I'm using my tear and tape tonight. Everybody has different favorites. Okay, now I'm just going to fold this over just like that. So that makes that the back of my box. That makes this the front of my box. I'm going to fold that down and add a piece of tear and tape to this. Okay, fold that down, and then we're going to fold this over. So here's our box, and then your lid fits, and it's kind of a snug fit, but snug means it's not going to fall off, okay? Yeah. Now let me show you what's going to fit in here. I have a whole variety of things. A pack of extra gum will fit in there. A little mini charm pack. Tea bags, candy galore. The hand sanitizer will fit sideways like that. Burt's Bee lip balm, all kinds of candy. So it's a nice size box. Without the lid, it measures 2.5 by 3 5/8. Okay. So now we're going to take the metallic mesh ribbon. Hopefully y'all are not already sick of this ribbon. I just love it, and it kind of matches the, okay, hold on. It matches the shimmer paint, you know? Ruh-roh. Hopefully I didn't cut that too short. No, I didn't. Okay, so we're just gonna make the ribbon pretty, and then it's going to get added to the top here. Now you could wrap it around if that's what you want to do, so that then they'd have to untie the ribbon to open the box. And when I was first creating this morning, that's what I did. I wrapped it around the entire box, but then I decided, you know what, not everybody wants to untie the ribbon to get to their loot, so I decided to just add it right there. Now we're going to take this and add it in the middle, and I'm going to use a black Stampin' Dimensional. So that's going to go there. And then our boo, if you'll notice, this end is really long. Well, that's okay. We're going to slide it right under there. I want to trim it just a smidge so that it slides in there a little bit more. And I'm going to add a black Stampin' Dimensional right under the boo part. And then the spider. And he's going to get added with a mini black dimensional. Over here. Isn't it cute? Okay, so there he goes. Let me get you the other one so you can see the one I made earlier today. What did I just drop? Candy. So cute, aren't they? Oh, it looks like I should have colored it a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. You guys have a great night, and I will see you again for Coffee and Crafting on Wednesday. Thank y'all so much. Have a good night.